The 2K Sports pregame show, sponsored by Kia.
Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with my colleagues, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, we'll be watching the Houston Rockets playing against the Utah Jazz. And for Utah, they may have some challenges, but this is a game they have had circled on the calendar and want to deliver the top-notch performance they know they can. One player who is certain to be a force tonight, Derek Favors. A tremendous presence inside and a great defender, Shaq. He still has room to grow, too.
Yeah, Ernie, but he's an old-school player. Feels like he's been in the league forever, but he's really, really young. He definitely has not peaked.
Well, I agree with that. You know, he's great on the block, Ernie, but he has some versatility. He can step out. You know, defensively, he probably doesn't need any help when he's guarding a guy one-on-one. If he keeps polishing his games, he's going to be pretty good in the next few seasons.
And with that, the game just about to tip off, we send you to Kevin Harlan for the call.
And welcome, everyone, to another presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. With David Aldridge on our sideline, and here with me, Greg Anthony and Steve Smith, this is Kevin Harlan. A battle in the Western Conference. This Houston crowd hoping to watch their Rockets come out on top.
Ready, gentlemen? Ready?
Tip-off goes to Houston. And checking out Utah's opening lineup, Hayward and Favors holding down those forward spots. Hill pairs up with Hood in the backcourt, and it's Gobert in at the 5 spot. Houston shooting their first free throws of the evening. And he knocks down the first one. And for a team with as much talent as the Rockets have had over the last few seasons, the results have been pretty mixed.
Yeah, and look at the club's recent rosters. I mean, they've been filled with a couple mega stars and then everyone else. At some point, you have to look past all the individual stuff and make the commitment as a team to play for each other. Unselfish, fundamental basketball.
1 up, 1 down, 2 points with his first shot this game.
And for his career, Gobert has averaged better than 50% from the field, an efficient scorer in the post.
Beverly against Hill. Free throw line jump shot. And it's Beverly missing.
How anyone could give him that much room from his spot is crazy, but the defender got away with it.
Hood. The rebound by Anderson. Now let's find out what head coach Quinn Snyder had to say to David Aldridge. David.
Well, Kevin, he didn't outright say he was satisfied with his defense, but he did say that offense was important tonight. He told me numbers 1, 2, and 3 on our list are getting good movement, good looks, and making some shots. That's our focus. We'll see if they can make that happen tonight. Kevin, back to you.
Okay, Dave, thanks. And guys, the focus being on the offensive side of things, they obviously don't want to let their defensive guard down, so to speak, can they?
No, they're still going to have to be sharp on the defensive side of the floor. It's just that getting into a rhythm offensively is going to be the main focus here early on.
I mean, for this team, they have to hang their head on defense. Sometimes their offense come and go, but their defense has to be their staple.
Four on the clock, and it's out of bounds. The Jazz able to retain possession here.
You know what? A low percentage pass on that one, but sometimes it's worth the risk.
Yeah, questionable, but it almost got through. It's probably a quick bucket if it did.
Just 3 to shoot. And it's out of bounds to the Jazz as Utah retains possession. Clock at 2. And it's wide right. It's off the rim. And here's Houston. Ariza kicks to Anderson. And there it is for him. And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Hood and blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. Beverly the pass to Capella, and it's Ariza in the corner. He tries for 3. Gobert pulls it in. For Utah, they've gone just 1 for 5 from the field to start the quarter. Ball's knocked loose, and here we go. Beverly heading to the hoop. The big dunk at the end of the break.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
Hill kicks to Favors. Makes it off the glass. Favors has got his first 2 points of the night.
Favors can really hurt you from inside the paint. If he gets the ball in a good spot, he has the size and length needed to bury the shot.
And year after year, Derek Favors making steady improvements, Steve, and he's still entering his prime.
Well, he came in as a rebounder and a defender, but now is back to the basket game. He's comfortable. Now his face-up jump shot, but what I love is one dribble to the rim and he can finish. Offensive game has definitely improved at all levels.
Here's the break. On up the court, and Harden with the stuff.
Agile play to get his hand in there and get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
Jazz trail by 9. Hill with it. And it's Harden picking him up. Gobert with a screen on Anderson. Hood dishes to Hayward. This one for 3. Rebounded by Capella.
Couldn't have been more wide open on that one.
Ariza against Hayward. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. And Smitty, great to have you in the booth here, a former NBA All-Star, NBA champion. Dreams certainly do come true. Was working in the announcing booth one of your dreams, you think, growing up? Did that ever enter your mind?
You know what,
Just
Kevin?
be honest about this now.
I'm going to be very honest.
All right.
Not at all. Obviously, to be an NBA basketball player. Then after that, I thought maybe a GM role, coaching. But I'm loving this right now, being right here with you, my friend.
We loved it.
That's how we play the game. Bring it in. Let's go.
Eric Gordon, he's checked in for James Harden. And it's Pablo Prigioni in for Patrick Beverly. Brewer is checked in for Trevor Ariza. Pass to Burks. Here's Lyles. Nice ball movement by Utah. Knocked loose. Now here's Exum. Defense is right there. 6 on the shot clock. Burks' shot is good. Rockets leading by 9. Prigioni, the pass to Gordon. Down low. Here's Nene, and Nene with the stuff.
And they keep going down low with the ball and keep getting positive results.
They're opening up a nice lead here early. Reason why, they're doing a great job in the paint.
Johnson kicks to Diaw. Passes it to Exum. Back to Diaw. Johnson at the elbow. It's good. The assist that time from Diaw. Johnson's got his first points in this one.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside. That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Beasley. There's 1:38 left in the first quarter. There's the pick. Burks for 3.
In building this lead, they've done a terrific job finishing their defensive sequences with the backboard. That has been key. It's taken them no time to build this lead up. Great first quarter offensively.
And who needs to warm up? They didn't.
Now, here's Burks. Lyles kicks to Exum. Pass to Lyles. Ball's knocked loose. Beasley with the steal. for the finish, and it's Beasley finishing it off.
And a huge lead here early to start.
The game plan is working to perfection so far. Didn't take them any time to get into rhythm.
Johnson's shot is off. Houston leading by 13. Outside Gordon. The dish to Beasley. Back to Gordon. He tries for three. Rebound, Utah. 35 seconds left in the first quarter. A shot by Burks. Nobody around. Drops in the tray. Burks has got 5.
Burks is really good at picking his spots from outside when he's on the floor. A highly efficient shooter.
Kicks it to Prigioni. It's rebounded by Boris Diaw.
That was a huge face-off at the rim. Two great competitors. Defense took it.
Here's Exum. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Rob. And Dante Exum picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
For three, Gordon. Oh, and he just knocked down the buzzer beater.
What a three at the horn as they end the quarter on a high note.
A little joke right at the buzzer.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And for the Rockets here, they've been putting on a show, guys.
I just think that from an intensity standpoint, their defense has really been the key. It's been the catalyst as they've been able to disrupt their opponent's offense.
They've been all over them. They are making things extremely difficult for their opponents so far.
Beverly and Harden are the 1 and the 2. Gordon is out there with Ryan Anderson. Then it's Nene in at the pivot spot manning the middle. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets.
And George Hill, really, for me, an interesting case study, if you will. Always an unselfish player, always been careful in terms of shot selection and smart on the floor. But with Paul George missing time 2 seasons ago, Hill really stepped up his role and didn't miss a beat. I think he can do even more offensively. He's one of those guys that I think doesn't really realize just how good he is. Maybe he does this season.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Utah wasn't going to let Gordon Hayward go to Charlotte. They matched that offer sheet a couple of years ago, and now he's growing into his role as the go-to offensive player for the Jazz. But it's his versatility that really makes him special. He said, I have to be active and have to affect all parts of the game in order for us to be a successful team. And indeed, Kevin, he does a little bit of everything.
Sure does. Thank you, D.A. And for Hill, even as his shots per game have increased, his percentages have only gotten better. Last season, Greg, a career high in three-point percentage.
Yeah, and that spread out offense really has helped. A lot of open looks for everybody. You've got to give him credit, though. He fit in well for this team.
From deep, Harden. Kept alive by Houston. Here's Capella. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket. Capella's got his second basket of the game. Gobert with a screen on Beverly. Outside Favors. Here's Ingles. Off target from three-point range. Houston leading by 9. Capella dishes to Harden. Back to Capella. The kick out to Anderson, and it's going to be a 3-second call. Trevor Ariza's checked in for Houston. Gordon Hayward's checked in for Utah. Jazz trail by 9. Now Hill. Gobert the screen. Hood kicks to Gobert. And the layup is good.
timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
To the paint, got a piece of it, and stolen by Favors. Hill passes to Favors, and Capella sends it back. And it's out of bounds. The Jazz able to retain possession here. Joe Johnson, he's checked in for Rudy Gobert. Here is Hill. Outside Hood. Poked loose. Stolen by Harden. And here we go. Fast break. Beverly's got it. And the jam by Harden.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
When your defense translates into offense, it's a beautiful thing.
And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
What's up?
You know, the thing about James Harden, though, there's really no perfect way to defend him. I mean, he can torch you from deep, drives the lane as well as anybody, and especially when he's looking to create contact. And in many ways, your best defense against him is a good offense. You try to match some of his points by scoring on the other end. Well documented that maybe defense not his strength, but, you know, that's an area where if you want to have success, you're going to have to do a good job on that end. It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Ariza with the bucket.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Beverly against Hill. Tipped away. The Jazz with another miss.
Almost no chance of that shot going in.
On that play, you gotta trust your teammates. Instead of forcing that one, just pass it.
Hood drives in, drops it in from 11 feet.
Like seeing Hood penetrate to the hoop. His speed and strength allows him to get there quickly.
Here's Anderson, and there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting two. And there's the call, Utah the foul. This is his first free throw of the game.
And looking back last season, how about 87% from the line? So that's obviously nothing to sneeze at.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Nene, he's checked in for Capella. Brewer comes in for James Harden. And it's Pablo Prigioni in for Patrick Beverly. Then for the Jazz, Boris Diaz checked in for Favors. Burks comes in for Rodney Hood, and it's Dante Exum in for George Hill.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Exum kicks to Burks. With some arc. And now in transition is Brewer. Here we go. Riza dishes to Nene. And here's Anderson for three. That shot, no good. And it's Utah the other way. Here's Johnson. It's rebounded by Houston. Anderson's got his third rebound tonight. When you talk about ball movement and player movement offensively without moving the ball, one of those underrated qualities, Smitty, which players do you think are the best in the league at cutting off the ball and moving that way?
You know, Jimmy Butler's very good. Klay Thompson is a guy that can move well without the basketball. Gary Harris from Michigan State, guys that can score without having it in their hands, which is a treat. You have J.J. Redick, who moves well without the basketball. Doesn't cut as much, but move without the basketball is one of the best.
You know, I always think of Jordan, and you played against Michael, of course. I always saw him as a guy that would pass when he did, but then he would cut him. He would immediately bang right off that player and set up someplace else. Some guys pass, they linger.
Yes.
And they're not, but Jordan, and he would explode after he would pass and try to take advantage of that movement.
You know, guy comes to mind, Kevin, Manu Ginobili. He's like he's passing and running in the same motion.
And what a quality.
Yes.
Huh? So deceptive.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead. Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Jazz trail by 18. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Trains the three-pointer.
Any chance Birch gets it from that area of the floor, he's taking it. That's a practice shot for him.
Prigioni, the pass to Nene. And Nene with the stuff.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. Hayward against Ariza. Exum sets a screen for Hayward. Back to Exum. Three-pointer. Rockets with the rebound. Left side Ariza. Dishes to Prigioni. Here's Brewer. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And so a pretty lopsided game through the first half. Rockets lead by 17. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Coach Quinn Snyder. Quinn, what concerns you most about the first half?
Well, I think the tempo is in their favor right now. They're fast, and they're getting up and down the floor, so they're running out in transition.
Got to beat them to the punch. Thanks very much, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome, everyone. We'll be taking a look back at what was clearly a one-sided first half of action. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Houston holding the upper hand after the first two quarters. They are way out in front, leading by 17. Kenny, what do you think?
Well, we have to talk about the unbelievable job they've done rebounding the basketball. They've sent bodies flying to the boards on every possession. They've been a stronger, quicker, tougher team by a wide margin. And it's that dominance on the glass that's going to win them this game.
And Shaq, how do you think the Jazz were playing?
Well, they got a ton of issues to work out. Allow way too high a percentage to be shot against them. Not really showing any energy on defense. No discipline. Look at their faces, Ernie. Do they even want to be here?
That's it for now, as the second half is just about ready to go. We, and I mean the three of us, will be right here after the final buzzer.
Welcome back to the Toyota Center, everyone. That's a look at our broadcast location tonight here in downtown Houston, Texas. Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
And he just went off in those first two quarters, guys. He's capable of doing that on a consistent basis as well. So we might see some changes from a defensive standpoint as they try to disrupt his rhythm in the second half.
Yeah, the change has to be double teaming him. Single coverage will not get it done.
Checking out the group for Quinn Snyder to start the second half. Hill pairs up with Hood in the backcourt. Hayward and Favors holding down those forward spots. And it's Gobert in at the center position.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
And Gordon Hayward, certainly a focal point of this Jazz offense. Steve, a great ball handler, and they look to him to initiate their offense.
Yeah, and I think he's starting to grow into this role over the years. A go-to guy. At first, I didn't think he was ready for it, but seemingly now he's getting more and more comfortable at that role, and also his playmaking ability has been huge for the Utah Jazz.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, Kevin, Utah has turned a corner, establishing its identity under Quinn Snyder as a youthful, defensive-minded team. Coach Snyder said, our players have gotten better. Our team has gotten better. There was a connectivity and a defensive mindset that was bubbling beneath the surface. The habits were there. The intensity was there. Things have just clicked. Kevin?
All right, D.A., they're on the rise. There's the lob to Harden. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Hayward kicks to Hill. Tries from 16. Rebounded by Capella. Capella's got his fifth rebound in this one.
Off target right now. 4 straight misses coming out of the half.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
exactly what he's trying to do.
Timeout.
Take an opponent that's struggling to keep pace and just put them further in.
Bring it in. Take a seat.
And Quinn Snyder this summer signing a multi-year extension to remain the coach of the Jazz into the future.
He took over back in 2014 and has been a great fit for this young and upcoming team. The Jazz with an excellent foundation both on the court and on the bench.
The Rockets making a switch here. Gordon's checked in. Now here is Hill. Gobert dishes to Hayward. Puts up a three. Utah the rebound. And slam dunk by Gobert.
Gobert using that 7'1" frame well on the glass, utilizing his size.
Here's Anderson, and finished off by Anderson.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. Nice shot by Gobert.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
Houston leading by 20. Harden the pass to Capella. The kick out to Anderson. Fader on the way. Anderson can't get that one to fall. The Jazz have gone 2 of 7 from the field in the third. That leaves room for improvement, certainly. The putback, rebounded by Capella. Rockets have gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. Here's Harden on the wing. Gordon against Hayward. Gordon kicks to Anderson. 6 to shoot. The three from Harden. Gobert pulls it in. Jazz trail by 20. That's tipped. And out of bounds as the Jazz gain possession.
It's not often you see that kind of mental lapse. He just lost track of where he was.
A different look for Utah. Johnson, he's checked in for Favors. Joe Ingles comes in for Gordon Hayward. And it's Exum in for George Hill. The Jazz with another miss.
And at a time they really need him to shoot well. The exact opposite is what's happening.
Count that one.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Now here's Exum. Defended by Beverly. Johnson with a screen on Beverly. Exum dishes to Johnson. Clock at 6. Anderson with the block. Here's Harden on the wing. Rebound, Utah.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
And the Jazz 3 seasons ago were the worst defensive team in the NBA. Last season, they were top 7. I mean, an unbelievable turnaround. But how have they engineered this dramatic defensive turnaround?
Well, give Coach Quinn Snyder a lot of credit, but also understand Rudy Gobert at the defensive end. He makes up a lot of their mistakes. It's becoming their identity.
For Utah, they have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both. Houston with a big group substitution here. Nene, he's checked in for Clint Capella. Beasley comes in for Anderson. Corey Brewer's checked in for James Harden. And it's Pablo Prigioni in for Patrick Beverly. Trey Lyles checked in for Utah. Burks comes in for Rodney Hood.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Beautiful pass that helped set up his teammate perfectly.
Houston leading by 20. To the inside. It's stolen by Johnson. Here's Exum. It's blocked. And it's out of bounds. Utah able to retain possession here. Houston making a switch here. Ariza's checked in.
Great job, guys. Nice work. Take a seat now. Let's talk.
Has been atrocious lately for them. You can't blame him at all for wanting to address that here in this timeout.
Boris Diaz checked in for the Jazz. And so it's Utah here with the ball. Poked loose, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Nene. There's 1:17 left in the third quarter. Shots good by Lyles.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
On the defensive end, you have to fight through screen. That is a commitment.
Now, here's Brewer. Here's Nene. It's rebounded by Boris Diaw.
Now that's terrific defense at the rim. Got right in his path.
That will be in his head. The next time he comes down the lane, he'll have thoughts about that one.
Here's Ingles. It's stolen by Ariza. And it's slammed in by Ariza.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
When your defense translates into offense, it's a beautiful thing.
And that's sort of a picture of what not to do on those last two possessions. They're being way too loose with the ball.
Patrick Beverly, he's checked in for Michael Beasley. Now here's Beverly. And there's Ariza. That's good on the assist by Beverly. And that's 11 points for Trevor Ariza.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found. And the rebounding has been key to their success here tonight.
I say it's the #1 reason why they are ahead in this game right now.
Nene kicks to Beverly. Three-pointer. No good that time. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Rockets ahead, delivering the blowout. We'll be back shortly live from Houston, Texas. And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. And defensively, Steve, these days, more and more teams are looking to switch screen rolls. Why is that?
Because of the new rules, Kevin. I mean, you look at it now, defenses can play a little bit of a zone. I think back in the day, imagine me switching out on Shaq. He'll go right into the blocks, and you couldn't have a guy come over unless he had the basketball. But right now, you can play more of a zone. So if teams who have multiple guys that can switch and defend multiple positions, they have an advantage.
Well, that's the thing that these teams want to get now. These players that are versatile play 3-4 positions sometimes, so they can do just what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're totally right. I mean, you have guys like Draymond Green can guard 1 through 5. That just has to be a luxury.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
LeBron, another one. He can guard all 5 positions.
He can guard everything.
Beverly and Harden are the 1 and the 2. Nene is out there with Trevor Ariza, and it's Gordon in at the small forward. That's the 5 for Houston right now.
And when you look at the Rockets, I mean, plenty of offense, but last year there was a huge drop-off defensively. And given this team's lofty goals, that really flies right in the face of that old adage, defense wins championships.
Nice.
Showcasing his skills with that slam.
He knows how to put the exclamation point on those, doesn't he? My goodness. That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action. And so it's Utah here with the ball, following the score by Houston. Poked away, stolen by Beverly, and here we go. Harden heading to the hoop. Bucket is good. Harden's got 19 points.
Excellent work there in transition.
He doesn't give the defense any time to set up. He just goes extremely hard to the bucket.
And it's Nene with the rebound. Rockets have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Gordon kicks to Harden. Anderson passes to Beverly. Gordon for 3. Gobert pulls it in. Gobert's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
You know what? They're winning, though, despite the fact that he has just been really off.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
And the Utah Jazz, with all their young talent, a team that's been on the cusp in the Western Conference, I mean, they felt they were ready to make a playoff push, and acquiring some quality veteran leaders with George Hill, Joe Johnson, and Boris Diaw, I think is just what the doctor ordered.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Nene. Sam Decker comes in for Gordon. Daniels, he's checked in for James Harden. And it's Pablo Prigioni in for Patrick Beverly. Got freed up. Nice work off the pick. And for the Jazz, Greg, do you like their moves this summer, adding all those veterans?
George Hill, I think, fits a need at the point guard, but can also play alongside Dante Exum. Boris Diaw, a skilled big man who fits well with Gobert and Derek Favors. And then Joe Johnson, a proven shooter and scorer in big-time possessions. So I think overall they did well.
You know, just a little too fancy on that play.
Yeah, the highlight reel was in his mind. Just lay it up.
Textbook, nice pass, great catch, even better finish.
For Houston, they've gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. That one good for 2.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Got a piece of it. And here comes the break. Kept alive by Houston. Beasley kicks to Anderson. Feeds it to McDaniels. Over in the corner, Decker. He dishes it to McDaniels. And that one is hammered home.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
But what he does is uses his body extremely well to shield off the defenders from the basketball.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
And he knocks down the first one. Monty Eunice is checked in for Anderson. Utah also making some changes. Lyles checked in for Withy. Joe Ingles comes in for Gordon Hayward. And it's Dante Exum in for Alec Burks. A look at the clock, a little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. That's tipped. And it's out of bounds. Utah able to retain possession here. Corey Brewer's checked in for Houston. And a switcher also for Utah. Boris Diaz checked in for Johnson. Exum kicks to Ingles. Trying to find Diaz. Gets it to him. Fast break. Here they come. And here we go. Prigioni. That's good. Prigioni's got 6 in the quarter.
And they are trying to put the hammer down, attacking the rim whenever they can.
Well, that's how you bury an opponent when they're struggling. Don't ease up. Just keep going hard.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Beasley. Now, here's Exum. D right on him. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Dante Exum, the 5th overall pick in 2014. Very excited to watch him in his 2nd season, but he missed the entire season with an ACL. Nice to see him back in action.
And Exum with great size at point guard, Steve. He's at 6'6", like you.
6'6", with a tremendous first step. Not like me. I love the way he attacks the basket.
Kicks it out to Beasley. And there's the pass to Decker. Second shot opportunity, and he sinks the layup.
Nice job creating for the easy deuce.
The Jazz have gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the fourth quarter. Ingles dishes to Mack. Nice ball movement by Utah. Knocked loose.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Rockets.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Harden.
This was a player who was determined to carry the offensive load for them. You could see it. He was saying, it's on me. I'm going to take over this basketball game, and that's exactly what he did.
There's the feed to Mack. 56 seconds left to play here in the fourth. It's good. The assist that time from Diaw.
He knows his teammate loves to shoot from that spot on the floor and get him the ball exactly there.
Houston's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Baseline J on the way, and it's Houston with another.
That one will seal the deal there. They've exploded here at the end.
Right time to start playing the best basketball that you can play. They are making everything right now.
They clearly look like a different team now. Suddenly, they've got some energy out on the floor.
They just waited too long. If they could have just made this run a little bit earlier, they could have been in the game. But now this game is out of reach.
Mack, no luck. This could get even more out of hand if they continue to put up points.
Wow, Kevin, what a performance we are seeing.
Decker, and the shot is long. And now the fast break Exum with the ball. Diop. The Rockets pull it in. Decker with it. Three-pointer. Offline. So we see the Rockets taking the win here. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Ryan, it was a great night of shooting for you. What does it mean to you that your teammates have the confidence to get you the ball when you're in position to score?
They have a ton of confidence in me. Even if I'm missing them, they want me to keep shooting because a lot of times I'm open. My teammates do a great job of finding me. I got to just keep shooting. I mean, that's what shooters should do. You know, you can't lose confidence in your shot. You just have to be ready and focused and just shoot the next one and hopefully it goes in.
Yeah, the next one's always going in, right? Thanks very much, Ryan. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. Now for Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA here on 2K Sports. We'll see you later.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, James Harden. Everything his team asked of him, he delivered, which obviously isn't a surprise, but that makes it no less a beautiful thing to watch. And how'd you feel about his performance, Shaq?
He loves playing in front of his home crowd. He looked like he was having a blast out there, and he gave him a lot to cheer about. Whether he was scoring or doing something else, he was involved in so many big plays.
He executed the game plan as a scorer. It was by design that the team was going to try to get him good shots, but it was going to be up to him to make those shots. But I don't think anyone thought that he'd make them at that high level of efficiency.
And that's it for tonight, but we've got a whole new NBA season ahead of us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny the Jet Smith, for Kevin Harlan, wherever he might be, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again very soon.